G'day guys, welcome back to Season 26 of Alliance War. This is war number 2, and we are up against Republic of the PH. And I think this alliance actually got... Actually, I know this alliance actually got docked last season points, and they finished Platinum 3, so yeah, it was definitely an interesting war today. Because we definitely expected stronger than a P3 opponent, but it definitely was a bit of a mismatch. Kind of like the last war actually. So we're going to be rolling with Dr. Doom, Human Torch, and then the Mr. Fantastic synergy for Dr. Doom. You'll see that how we're going to use that later on. And we got 7 fights in total. They actually didn't place anyone on Path 4 in Section 1, which is uncommon. So we're going to be starting off with a Longshot on Steady Build Up Fury, Heavy Hitter, and Power Alternator. Super simple fight for Torch. The only thing we really need to be semi-wary about is the Power Alternator. And while I can dodge a Special 2 pretty reliably, I don't really want to have to deal with that if we can help it. So we're just going to be dumping our Special 1 before the Power Alternator timer resets now. And yeah, apart from that, just sticking to medium, light, medium combos, he's going to melt super quickly. And then also some heavies weaved in there as well. And Torch is actually gaining some passive furies, which I read on the note after you get from purifying debuffs. So I'm not sure exactly what debuffs he was purifying. So if someone knows, please let me know, because last time I checked, Longshot doesn't have any debuffs in his kit. He only has the passive, the Karma stuff. But yeah, he goes down in like 60 seconds. Torch barely takes a scratch, so yeah, it's a good way to warm up to this war. And then we go straight into a Tigra. This is on Power Snack and Backup Recovery. Not a bad placement, but to be fair, there aren't many good defenders you can put here. And so we are going to be using the pre-fight for Torch. This is because it's our last Torch fight, so we might as well use it for an extra source of damage. And it definitely came in handy. And we really want to bait the Special 1 as much as possible, not the Special 2. We can dodge it fine, but don't really want to have to deal with it if we can help it. And we're going to try and get a Special 1 out before Backup Recovery, and we do just in the nick of time. And again, just like the last fight, just medium, light, medium combos. Those power stings are really adding up when she throws her special attacks, the damage, and she just ends up killing herself with that Special 2. So that was our Section 1. We've done 74 fights in total, and only the 1 death, so yeah, really clean start. And they've done half as many fights for double the amount of deaths, so it was a good start. Just had to keep up this momentum heading into Section 2. But it was a good position to be in early. Now this was a very interesting fight. So I actually took this fight last war, if you remember. I used Warlock, and it was really simple. We just parry heavied him to death. Let the infection degen and the bleed damage do the work, but this was a bit different. So I opted to use Doom. Just because I thought I could out damage him. And now the first sign of warrior I had was when I threw a heavy attack, and obviously that placed the armor break on him because we had the Mr. Fantastic synergy, and that ended up giving him a lot of willpower healing. And then when he started evading, and then he threw a Special 1, that made him go unblockable for quite a bit of time. So I quickly decided to change my strategy and go for just parry heavying. And while he still had the armor break on him all the time, he wasn't going unblockable. And we were starting to out damage him at a decent rate, to a rate that we weren't going to time out, because we were going to time out doing that first strategy. But I made a very, very, very big mistake coming up in a sec, which was I threw my Special 3. Now on the surface, there's nothing wrong with that, really. You throw your Special 3 with Doom, you get him into the cycle, he's going to die to 1 Special 2, right? Not in this fight, because this gives us 2 permanent debuffs. And see, once he evades, he goes permanently unblockable. So he's going to be unblockable for the rest of the fight now. So I learned a big lesson, which was not to use your Special 3 with Doom. You really shouldn't use your special with anyone in this fight actually, unless you have a way to purify debuffs. So yeah, I quickly entered panic mode at this point, because mainly because I thought we were going to time out at this, and I had to make a little cut there because of a notification. But yeah, we're not in a fun spot right now. Because not only is he fully unblockable, he's also evading quite a lot of our attacks, and the only way we can get openings is by intercepting him, really, and punishing his special one. But even after that, he's evading. The only thing we have going for us now is if we do get hit, we have a bit of willpower healing, but that's really the least of my concerns right now. We're just trying to find a way to get the damage in, because this fight's 2 minutes in and we've only done barely half, not even half damage, half his health. And I quickly decided that heavies were not the way to go. We can't throw any more heavies because that's just going to give him too much healing. We can't let him heal anymore in this fight. He's gotten so much willpower healing from those armor breaks. So I decided to go for a special 2. And I think I would get an intercept in there. It was nice. And I think I get another intercept in somewhere. I think I back off a bit here because of the evade that could happen because we have more debuffs on us. But we're very close to that special 2, and I figured this will do quite a bit of damage, hopefully. We're clipped there, but we get a bit of healing back. And we're just going to pray that this special 2 lands and he doesn't evade it. That's all we want right now, is for him not to evade the special 2 that we're about to throw. Because we're in a really, really tough position, and very luckily it lands. And the Incinerates tick him down a bit. Not as much as I hoped, since obviously we don't have any Fury from the special 3. We get a nice combo in there that gives us a bit more damage, but still we're not in a good spot. We're looking like we're going to time out at this point. It's been 2 minutes and we've done like 40% damage maybe, not much. And I probably, in theory, I probably should have thrown my special 1 now, because if we throw our special 2 again, that's going to give us a passive on us, which means for our next 5 fights, our special 2 damage is going to be reduced by 75%, which is not really something we want at all. But I was just in panic mode still. I've been in panic mode for 3 minutes now, and at this point I'm completely forgetting Mr. Fantastic's abilities, who I claim to know so well, and I throw another special 2. And as soon as I threw the special 2, I saw the passive, I go, oh shit. That's not good. How could I be so stupid? You can't throw 2 special 2s in a row against Mr. Fantastic. So now we have the cross fight. So yeah, like I said, our special 2 damage is reduced by 75% for the next 5 fights. And we only have 4 more fights. So that's going to be the rest of our fights. But the thing is, we won't have to use a special 2 for the rest of our fights. That's the only silver lining, is it actually isn't going to be the end of the world. We can get through the rest of our fights by purely using special 1s and special 3s, which is what we're going to do. So this fight is another steady build up unblockable. It's an Annihilus, not a bad placement, but since Doom is armor break immune, it's quite a safe option. And just like the Annihilus we fought in the last 4, we're going to be sidestepping him to victory. Go into special 3, and this will pretty much finish him off. I think we might have to do a bit of our Doom combo afterwards. This will pretty much get him down. And there he goes. So yeah, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, don't worry guys, we got this. So end of section 2, we'd still only died once, and they died quite a few more times, dying to quite a few silly, they'd given up quite a few silly deaths. So at this point I was very confident we were going to win this war, but that didn't mean we were to take these fights lightly. So we've got 3 section 3 minis. We've got the whole left side, and we're going to be starting off with a Hulkbuster on the rage node. It also has return policy, which is definitely going to come into effect in this fight. But this is actually the main reason why I brought the Mr. Fantastic synergy, because Hulkbuster's armor ups also reduce our ability accuracy by 20% each, so we want to make sure that he never has an armor up buff. So by having an armor break on our heavies, we make sure that that doesn't happen. And you can see we are triggering rage on our heavy attacks, but that's being instantly nullified by Doom Stagger on the heavy. So now, really, I should have just been doing this strategy all fight, just like 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit combos, and then heavy, and then baiting the special one. That's really all that you have to do for this whole fight. But I got greedy. And that's something you really shouldn't be doing in Alliance War. You can't be greedy when it comes to damage. You have to just learn to take it slow sometimes. And I definitely learnt my lesson this war, because you can throw one special 3 against this guy, and you'll be okay. You do end up triggering rage on your mediums though, and you see we are nullifying that, and that gives them an extra burst of power. And the biggest mistake I made here was I got even greedier, and I pushed to my special 3 again. Now this is going to give us a double fury, a lot of attack, which means we're going to be triggering rage on pretty much every hit. And what that means is when we throw our next special 1, that's going to nullify 3 fury buffs, and because of return policy, each one's going to give him 40% of a bar of power. So that shoots him right up to special 3. And I almost got an in here, but he threw a special 3, and I should have expected it. Really should have expected it. Didn't think this fight through properly, and it's a lesson that I've definitely learned. And we're never going to do it again should we have to take this fight. And you see, we're actually also triggering Protect when we had the double. I think we still had the double Fury when we were triggering Protect. So now we have that to worry about as well. Fortunately, we did actually pop a 25% health boost on top of our 10% champion boost. I didn't throw any attack boosts on because I was worried about rage. But yeah, now we have to work in an intercept here because we're doing not much damage because of Protect. He's got 2 Protect charges. We're trapped in the corner. It's not a good time. Luckily, he threw a special 1, and we just want to get in backdraft as soon as possible. So we have to bait out the special 1. And yeah, it's definitely a learning fight. This was, I mean, the whole war, like that Mr. Fantastic fight and this fight, it was a learning war for me. It's a new path still, and it's just a lesson that I need to just research my fights that I haven't done more, because this is just, it's just too stressful. It's just too stressful, man. Like, we did get the intercept off, by the way. But you know, just you have to know your whole game plan for the fight. And you see, in this fight and the Mr. Fantastic fight, I've changed my strategy like 3-4 times throughout the course of the fight, and it just causes errors. It's the catalyst for making mistakes, and I've made big mistakes in both of these fights, and I've been able to recover from them thanks to, well, mainly because I have a rank 3 Doom who's super tanky. And it's just, yeah, it's just the stress and of the fight, the pressure. It made me just forget really basic stuff like throwing 2 special 2s in a row against Reed, or getting to the double Fury against Hulkbuster to trigger rage. So it's just a reality check for me that sometimes I just actually have to think about my fights before I take them, because then stuff like this happens. I have to spend 3 glory potions to heal up Doom, which I didn't expect to be doing. But yeah, that's just what it is. Now we are gonna chuck on a 30% champion boost, mainly because I was actually a bit worried about the next fight, the OG Vision on the Power Game Mini. But we really just wanted to get this fight done as quickly as possible. I didn't want to make any more mistakes. I'd had enough for this war. and we also had the special 2 crossfire on us still, so if we were to throw a special 2, this would boost up the damage a bit more, I guess. So this is Black Widow Deadly Origin. She has Power Focus 1, Enhanced Special 1. So her Special 1 is unblockable, at least for the first bit, but we can dodge it pretty fine. And when she has that evade charge, we're just going to be throwing medium heavy combos. And that's pretty much going to be the whole fight. Doom's heavies, they do a decent amount of damage. 11k there. I think we are going to build up to our special 3 for a bit of extra damage there, but yeah, it's a pretty chill fight overall. A lot of champs can take this fight fine. You don't necessarily need a strong evade counter. Yeah, I definitely got more confidence out of this fight since I actually knew what I was doing this time. And I think, yeah, we're going to throw a special 3 now. And the biggest thing, well, one of the nodes is Hurt Locker, so Doom doesn't really have to worry about Hurt Locker that much since a lot of his rotation is about throwing the special 3, then the special 1, then the special 2, so, or the special 1, then special 3 again. So it wasn't really a big thing we had to worry about. Throw the special 1 to get it almost down to 3%. And there we go, finish off with a heavy attack. And she's down. Didn't lose too much health. That was a pretty basic fight overall, especially for a tier 3 mini. Now finally we have OG Vision. Now I realized after the Mr. Fantastic fight, we had Mr. Fantastic pre-fight still. Now we could use the Petrify one on OG Vision, and this would reduce the initial power gain that he gets. So this is a max Sig Vision, but the Petrify pre-fight from Mr. Fantastic reduces that initial power gain by 40%. So he only got to 2 bars of power, which means you don't actually have to worry about his first special 3, which he always gets to at the start of the fight. So that was really nice. And I didn't time that very well. I was expecting the synthesis, but it just caught me off guard there a bit, and we ate a few hits. Luckily, he didn't throw the special 3. But I wasn't exactly sure of the timing. I probably should be, in the future, more aware of how long it is between synthesises, if that's the word. But you see he activates synthesis there, so we throw our special 3, knowing that we can pretty much do a full rotation, getting back to our second special 3 before synthesis activates again. And the other pre-fight we placed was the debuff Siphoner, I think it's called, but it basically increases the potency of our debuffs should we want to throw a special 2. Obviously it's not going to get us back to the normal damage since we still have the crossfire on us, but it's going to boost it a little bit. But it turns out we actually don't have to throw a special 2. Since even with Aspect of Evolution, he'd gained quite a few bars of power. Doom's damage is too powerful when boosted up. And just a couple more hits and he goes down. So that was our war. And as of right now, as of recording, the war isn't actually done yet, but we've done most of our fights. We've just got 11 fights to go, and we've only given up 6 deaths. So the war's, it's pretty much won. It's been won for a few hours now. So it was a really good performance overall. So 2 wins in a row to start the season. Couldn't have asked for a better start. And hopefully, I think maybe 2 or 3 wins more would get us into tier 1. I'm not exactly sure on some results. Would have to swing our way, of course, but yeah, it's looking good. The season's tracking well, and we're definitely getting used to our path. So yeah, you can expect me to get a bit better on path 4 hopefully in the next 4, but who knows. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.